Yes, people, Arsenal with Ash here to do my season review for the Arsenal 2024-25 season. Um, what a season, man. It's all happened. It's all happened. It's been a stressful journey, a long one. As you can see, I've lost my hair. um, but yeah, it's been there's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs. So yeah, I'm gonna talk you through the season summary. I'm gonna go through the player performances. I'm gonna go through some stats. I'm gonna go through the big moments that we've had and look on to the next season because it's gonna be a big one. The summer is going to be huge. So yeah, make sure you drop your comments, your thoughts in the comments, like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff. And yeah, let's get on to it. So obviously, before the season started, the expectations were high. They were very, very high. We had just come off the back of our second place finish, losing out on the title on the last day of the season after going on an amazing run from January to the end of the season, losing I think one game maybe and drawing another and winning the rest. But unfortunately, City were just able to match that and pip us to the title, 2 points. So yeah, we went into pre-season thinking this is the one. This is the one. City have just they five-peated or four-peated the league. They've won the treble. They've done everything. The players are getting older, and this is our time. And we thought to ourselves, if we just do the right things in the summer, we're gonna we're gonna win something. We're gonna win something big, whether that be the league or the Champions League. But unfortunately, the summer was underwhelming. We went through a transfer window where we needed reinforcements in attack, needed a number 8. We went out and got Calafiori, who's a top player in my opinion, a really good player at left back. So that was a good coup in my opinion. We went and got Marino to add some more physicality to the midfield, and just a bit of guile and a bit of comfortability on the ball. And I think he's been decent. Not exactly what we needed, in my opinion. I would have gone for a more creative midfielder. But in attack is where we absolutely lacked. We needed a number 9. We needed a winger. We went and got Raheem Sterling on the last day of the window on a loan, and it's just absolutely failed miserably. And unfortunately, it wasn't a good enough summer. So we left ourselves in a position where we were relying on a small squad to go and do the business, and unfortunately we fell short. Obviously, at the start of the season, we still had that optimism because we thought these players have been there in these title races. They've gone to the line in the last one, so the expectation was still there. The first 5 to 10 games, I think we started the season quite well. We had a tough few away games. We went to Villa Park, we went to Spurs, we went to City. All these tough away games in our first 5 to 10 games, and we managed well. We went to Villa Park 1-2-0, where we've struggled in recent years. We went to Tottenham 1-1-0. Went to City, was 2-1 up just before half time. Drew 2-2 at the end of the game. So yeah, we started the season quite well. We weren't firing on all cylinders attackingly, but defensively we were doing the job and we were getting results. But of course, we had those 2 massive incidents. The Brighton home game, where I remember that game. That was just before the international break, and we could have gone 3 for 3 in our first 3 league game, something like that. And in the second half, Declan Rice gets sent off for tapping the ball away. Something they said they were going to crack down on on that season. And fair enough, they've done what they needed to do. I thought it was pathetic at the time because the Brighton players really played for it, but that's what they said they're going to do. But the problem is, we saw it up and down the country in all other games, and teams weren't getting punished for it. We go to Man City, Trossard, the same thing, kicks the ball away. Yes, he shouldn't have done it especially after what happened to Declan Rice, but we're not seeing it. We saw Doku kick the ball away in that same game, didn't get a yellow card. So yeah, we were up against it. I think we came up against Bournemouth away as well. We lost that game 2-0. Another red card. That same weekend, I've seen Van der Ven get away with it. The same incident. In my opinion, it's a red card, but the consistency across the league. So we were absolutely handicapped in that regard. Loads of suspensions, which obviously impacts our next games. The Saliba one, especially, we had Liverpool the next game, and we couldn't manage. We couldn't keep up, and unfortunately, that's what happened. The massive turning points were the injuries as well. So we had Odegaard who got injured, I think, in the first international break. Um, Ankle mash up, 2 months out. We now have to adapt to a different way of playing. The player that we've been relying on in terms of creativity and control over the last couple of seasons, we've let Smith Rowe go, we've let Vieira go, and we've not replaced them. So him going out injured and having to rely on a 17-year-old Ethan Waneri, Arteta obviously didn't do that, so we had to adapt. We went almost 4-4-2 with a Trossard Havertz front two, um, and yeah, we managed to get through games. We were getting results here and there, but it just weren't fluid or nothing like that. So that was a massive issue for us. We were struggling to score goals. We were relying on set pieces. Um, and yeah, in certain games, we ended up drawing games because we didn't have enough to get over the line. We had the Marino injury. As soon as he comes in, shoulder popped, bang, what's that, 1 month to 6 weeks out? We didn't see him. So yeah, we're overplaying players like Partey, Declan Rice. And then we obviously get the Saka injury just before Christmas, 3 to 4 months out, having to have hamstring surgery. Our best player in the last few years, our talisman, if some would say. Um, he was having a great season in terms of goals and assists. So yeah, that was massive for us, and we know that we don't have a replacement for Saka. Ethan stepped in and done a great job, in my opinion, for 18-year-old, 17, 18-year-old boy. But of course, he's not Saka. He's not Saka, and that's not even his natural position either. So yeah, the Saka injury was massive. We then go into January, the start of January, Jesus ACL gone, and he was just in his form. Like, he got the hat trick against Palace, got a 2 against them again the next game. He was really, really getting into his form, and then his ACL goes, and that's him for the season. And we're thinking to ourselves, January, we're gonna reinforce. We're gonna have make all these transfers. And we're gonna bring in at least 2 attackers, minimum one, and we don't even do that. We then get the Havertz injury. As soon as we go, the window closes. We go on the warm weather camp. Havertz hamstring pops, and he's out for pretty much the season. So yeah, we've been really up against it this season. We were really up against it. We also have ourselves to blame in terms of the squad, and the board hold a massive accountability for that, in my opinion. And yeah, it wasn't enough. We can also look in terms of the league. The league was gone pretty much after the Liverpool draw when we were home to them. Like I said earlier, it was earlier in the season, but that Saliba suspension and then Gabriel going off injured in the second half, had no Odegaard. We were almost at our bare bones, and we had to come up against a team that were absolutely flying, and we were 2-1 up. Later on the second half, they get an equaliser, and we kind of needed to win that game. When you look back at it, we needed the 3 points to be able to build momentum, because after that we then go on to lose to Newcastle 1-0, and then we draw with Chelsea, and then from there we're just playing catch up, and the games aren't, they're not getting any easier, and Liverpool are flying. So the title was gone pretty much at that point. And we got to a point where we were relying on the Champions League, and we didn't, if we're being honest with ourselves as fans, we didn't have too much faith in that because we've never won it before. So why would we? We've also, last season we got to the quarterfinals, but also without big players, the likes of Saka, Havertz, like I said, Jesus, Odegaard, that's come back from injury but not in form. We had a lot of issues, so we couldn't even the PSV game. I thought to myself, that's going to be a tough game. But in the Champions League, we were really good. We were really good. But I can look back in the league phase, the game against PSG at home. Obviously, it's early in their development under Luis Enrique, but we dealt with them very, very well. Won that game 2-0 comfortably. Sporting away in the league phase, we went into that game. Everyone's talking about Gyökeres. They've just mashed up City as well. Yes, they just lost Amorim, but obviously they've got a way of playing that they're going to stick to, a hostile environment, and we go there and smash them 5-1. Brilliant performance, amazing performance. So those were the standout games, and then obviously you get into the knockout stages. We managed to get in the top 8 of the league phase, so we avoided the playoff round, so we're into the last 16, and we get PSV away. A tough game, a team that we've played in the last couple of years, whether that be in the Champions League or the Europa League, and we've not done too well at their place. But we go into that game with so much ability and class throughout that game. 7-1 was a huge win. I loved that game, enjoyed that game. That one sticks in the memory. And from then, I'm thinking, wow, what can we do? What can we do? Because that is a serious performance. We've got the Champions League to put all our eggs in because the league's practically gone. And then we get Madrid. And we're thinking, oh, the heritage, the players, the Mbappe's, Vinicius, Bellingham, all of these top players, Rodrigo. And we're thinking to ourselves, and we're at home in the first leg as well. The second leg's at the Bernabeu. And we know what they're like. We know what they're like. So as much as I was looking forward to that game, I was buzzing for it. I didn't have too much faith that we'd get through it. And that was one of the most amazing nights, if not the most amazing night at the Emirates Stadium when we beat them 3-0. The two Declan Rice free kicks, the Marino goal. Unbelievable moments, man. Unbelievable. But after that, we still go to the Bernabeu with a lot of doubt. There's a whole week of Madrid propaganda, remontada, this, all of this sort of stuff. We've been here, we've done that. Arsenal are going to drown in the Bernabeu. And I'm not going to lie to you, I was nervous. I was nervous as hell going into that game. But we got through it and we managed it so well, so much class. Declan Rice was a Rolls Royce in that arena. And we got through it and won the game even. So it was an amazing performance. And from there, you're thinking to yourself, go and win the Champions League. This is our year. And we get PSG. We've beaten PSG already this season. Yes, they're flying. They've already knocked out Liverpool and Villa. They've beaten Man City as well. So it's going to be a tough game, but we think we've got the minerals to do it. And in the first leg, the optimism was amazing. The feeling in the ground, we just felt like it was our year. And we started the game 5 minutes in, we're 1-0 down. Dembele. It's like, oh, mate, couldn't believe it. And then we're missing chances in the first half. Then the second half, we're all over them pretty much, but it's just not going in the back of the net. So we go down 1-0. It could have been worse in the end. It could have been 2-3 in the end. But we gave ourselves a chance going into their place, and we go to their place and we start on fire. The first 15, 20 minutes, we absolutely steamrolled them, but the ball's not going in the back of the net. And then we get caught with a sucker punch, Fabio Ruiz goal, and then from there we're up against it. So yeah, it was a tough night and a tough game to watch, and it felt like it was our year, but unfortunately it didn't work out. But we got to a point where we had to make sure that we secured the Champions League football via the league, secure second place. We managed to do that, and now we can look forward to next season. But unfortunately, the overwhelming the underlying feeling, from this season is a feeling of failure, regret, and just underwhelming, unfortunately. And the club have to put that right because the teams are going to get stronger. The likes of Chelsea, they're now in the Champions League, they're going to strengthen. Newcastle, they're going to strengthen. Liverpool are already strengthening. City, they're definitely going to strengthen. Like, we are up against some top teams. So we have to make sure we're spending the money and doing the job. So yeah, underwhelming season, but a season full of a couple of memories as well, and definitely a lot of learning curves. So yeah, hopefully we get stronger going forward. So yeah, that's my season summary. So onto the player performances now. My top 3 players this season, I'm going to go with David Raya. Those who have been watching my match reviews throughout the season, my player ratings, I've been raving about this guy all season. He's been phenomenal. Got his second Golden Glove 2 seasons in a row, shared it with Matt Sells this time. But he's been phenomenal at the start of the season, making some massive saves. So much better with his feet this season as well. Claiming crosses, taking the pressure off us in pressure moments. He's been absolutely fantastic, and I'm so glad that we've Arteta's done what he's done in terms of the Ramsdale to the Raya situation. It's the right thing to do, and it's proven now. So yeah, big up David Raya. He's definitely one of the top 3. My second choice would be Gabriel. Been an absolute man mountain. He's announced himself definitely as a top 3 centre back in the world for me. And I think he's been unbelievable. It's just unfortunate he missed the last month of the season through a hamstring injury as well, like others. but he's been absolutely fantastic and definitely our best centre back this season. And I don't know how he didn't get into the team of the season for the league. I think he was unbelievable. And then Declan Rice, of course, last season unbelievable in the number 6. This season, unbelievable in the number 8. He is an absolute monster. What a player. Those 2 moments in the Real Madrid game, his performance at the Bernabeu as well, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. And yeah, learning the new role, like I said, he's got his best season in terms of goals and assists as well. He's just been fantastic. What a signing. And he deserves trophies. He's announced himself as a leader as well within this group. So yeah, big up Deck. But I think definitely for my player of the season, I'm gonna go with David Raya. Gabriel's definitely close. I'll probably put him second and Rice third. But I think because David Raya has been there the whole season, yes, Gabriel missed the last month, but David Raya, I think the whole season has been unbelievable. So big him up. Most improved. I'm going to shout out Kivior. Yeah, I'm going to shout out Kivior because I was a big critic of his. And when Gabriel got injured in the last month of the season, he stepped up and done really well. So big up Jaco Kivior. And I'd definitely keep him as a squad player for the upcoming season. So yeah, shout him out. Partey. A lot of people won't think about this, but you got to remember Thomas Partey has stayed fit practically the whole season for the first time in an Arsenal shirt. He's been plagued with injuries throughout his whole Arsenal career, and he's managed to all of a sudden put up a whole season. And he's been at a good level as well, a really good level. I thought he's been really good. So big him up for that, and it's looking like he's going to sign a new contract. And I would do that. I'm not mad at that decision. So yeah, big up Partey, and I want to shout out Jurian Timber as well, who came off the back of an ACL, came into a season where you thought he'd be rotating with Ben White, easing him back into it, but he's had to play pretty much the whole season with Ben White's injuries and Tomiyasu's injuries. So shout out Jurian Timber. He's announced himself as one of the best right backs in the world. He's locked up Vinicius. He's had a great battle with Kvaratskhelia, who got the better of him probably 10 minutes into the first game, and the rest of the game he was quiet. He's locked up some serious wingers this season. He's been absolutely fantastic. So big him up. The disappointments this season, I've got to look at probably Odegaard, 100%. The captain of the club, he's been poor, and I'm sure he would say that himself. Been so poor. It's a position that I would look at upgrading in terms of his creativity, his numbers. It's not good enough. He's more of a controller type. He's not the type that's going to go and get you goals and assists. Yes, he had that wonder season, 22-23, but since then, just not at it in terms of the numbers. So, yeah, he's been really poor. And yeah, I'd be looking at getting a creative midfielder. I don't think the club will do it, but that's what I'd be looking at. And I'm also going to mention Martinelli, who I thought would kick on a bit. Obviously, 22-23 season, he was electric, on fire. Then last season, he had a poor season. Yes, he suffered with an injury here and there, but he was poor, gets predictable. Everyone's found him out, not scoring enough goals. And yes, you could look at the position he's playing and the tactics that we play. But yeah, I just think in terms of when he is getting the chance and getting on the ball, it's just not good enough. And it's another position I'm looking at upgrading because we need superstar attackers and unstoppability, and that's what we've been lacking for the last couple of seasons. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's a position I'd be looking at upgrading, and he's been one of the disappointments this season. So, yeah, and Starboys, we've got to talk about the Starboys, man. Ethan Waneri and Miles Lewis Skelly announced themselves on the European stage, on the Premier League stage, on in men's football. Big them both up. They've both made their full debuts this season, and been unbelievable. Ethan not played as much as Miles, but obviously it's a position that's more saturated and a position where you need a bit more nurturing. But when he's had the chance, he's been fantastic. He's got 9 goals, 2 assists in his first season for the club, not starting a lot of games. It's been unbelievable. He's even got a trademark finish already. He's been fantastic. He played on the right wing when Saka was injured. He's played in midfield as well. So yeah, big him up. He's had a fantastic breakout season. going to go to the under-21 Euros now. So hopefully he has a good tournament there and comes back and gets even more minutes, and next season's even better for him. But yeah, fantastic from him. But Miles, they weren't talking about you as much as they were talking about Ethan. They weren't. They weren't talking about you as much, but you have been absolutely unbelievable. One of the best left backs in the Premier League, if not Europe, this season. And you're not even a left back. Unbelievable, man. He gets his England debut as well, puts up that performance at the Bernabeu. No fear, just so much class. All the scrutiny people have tried to put you under as well, and you've just dealt with it so amazingly. So big up, Miles. Hopefully get that new contract sorted for both of them, actually. And then, yeah, we've got an amazing future, and I want to see that kid in midfield as well. So big up Miles Lewis-Skelly and Ethan Waneri for their seasons. And hopefully next season we've got another breakout star because Max Dowman's looking crazy. So yeah, but let's just wait on that one. Give him time. Yeah, there's a couple of stats for this season. Our top scorer in the Premier League and all competitions was Kai Havertz. In the Premier League, it got 9. We got a top goal scorer in the Premier League with 9 goals. That's not good enough, man. He had 3 months out, which is fair enough. That's fine. He started the season really well. But for us as a top 2, top 3 team in the league, we cannot be having a top goal scorer with 9 goals. It's out of this world bad. So that's obviously the area we have to strengthen. Everyone knows it. A blind man can see it. So let's see what happens in the summer. And then in all competitions, he got 15 goals. So yeah, Kai Havertz had a decent season stats-wise. Yes, he had that. He misses sitters for fun sometimes. But yeah, in terms of his numbers, he's done really well. So yeah, big him up. He's our top scorer. Saka with the most assists with 13. Obviously, he was out for 3-4 months as well. But he started the season on absolute fire with the assists. And then even when he came back, he got a couple as well. Got some big goals in the Champions League too. So yeah, big up Saka. Hopefully next season he can build on that. The most minutes in the team was David Raya with 4,980, followed by Saliba as the most for an outfield player with 4,464. And I don't know if you remember me talking about Saliba towards the back end of the season, talking about how fatigued he looked, tired, he's making these silly mistakes due to a lack of concentration, etc. And it's down to the minutes. It says it there. He's played the most minutes of any outfield player for Arsenal this season. So yeah, it's telling why he was so tired towards the end of the season, was making those mistakes. So hopefully he has a good summer. There should be no football for him this summer. Have a break, come back refreshed, and show the world why you're one of the best. Unforgettable moments, man. Got to look at the City 5-1 win. That was an unbelievable game. Unbelievable game. Especially the second half, because obviously we went into the first half. I think, was it 1-0 first half or 1-1? I can't remember if it was 1-0 first half or... I think it was 1-0 first half with the Odegaard goal, and then Haaland scored probably early into the second half, I'm pretty sure. And then we steamrolled them. Partey with a goal. Then Miles stepped up with his moment. That moment. And then we got the Havertz goal and then the Ethan goal at the end of the game. What a game. Smashed them. And that pretty much set the tone for the rest of the season in terms of us finishing above them. The Madrid games, I spoke about them earlier. Unbelievable moments, both of them. Put them away, put them to the sword. The PSV 7-1 away game, unbelievable. So those were definitely the best moments of the season. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if there's any that come to mind for you. The worst moment obviously has to be the PSG defeat. Heartbreaking. We were so close to the Champions League final. But yeah, unfortunately it weren't to be. That was definitely the lowest moment in my opinion. Again, let me know your thoughts in your comments. And then last but not least, let's talk about Arteta. As you know, I'm a massive fan. I think he's unbelievable. I think he's a generational talent in terms of his coaching. And he's definitely going to go right to the top. And if we don't give him what he needs in terms of resources, then he's going to do it somewhere else. 100%. I got no doubt about it. But he does have his flaws, and this is his first job still. And he is still a young manager technically. Yes, he has been here a few years now. But yeah, every manager has his flaws. Went into the season with a small squad. which wasn't good. And I don't know if that's really for him to blame because he has spoken about it himself or whether it's the board. But to lose, for example, ESR, Smith Rowe, and then Vieira as well, and to rely on Odegaard and a 17-year-old Ethan Waneri in the attacking midfield positions is terrible planning. Terrible planning. So yeah, the things like that. Reece Nelson going on loan, and then you only bring Sterling in when we needed a winger anyway. Not good enough. Not bringing in a 9, not good enough. But these things, I personally would look more at the board for, because there's a lot of attackers and Edu as well. We've got to look at the deals that Edu didn't manage to get over the line. Hopefully, we got an improved. We're going to improve in that aspect with Berta coming in. But yeah, that it was very disappointing in terms of that. I thought he managed the season really well, considering everything that we went through in terms of the injuries and the suspensions to get where we got to. And he said it in his speech at the end of the season. Any other club dealing with those issues is suffering. We've seen it before. We've seen United last season finishing 8th and now 15th this season. We've seen Tottenham suffer. We've seen Chelsea suffer. We've seen Liverpool not get a title race or get into the top 2. We've seen them finish 5th with injuries or 4th, whatever it was. We've seen City struggle with the Rodri injury being their main injury this season, and their whole season fell apart. So his adaptation, especially when Odegaard got injured, transitioning into like a 4-4-2 kind of formation and getting those results, grinding out those results. Big shout out to him. The January transfer window was a big miss, and he was so frustrated. You can see it every interview. He's crying out for these players, and it's just not happening. So yeah, the board definitely let him down in that regard, let the team down, and we managed to go as far as we could with the season, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. So yeah, there's a lot of talk about whether he should stay or go or whatever. For me, it's absolutely non-negotiable that man stays because he's built what he's built so far, and we have to give him the tools, all of the tools. He needs the attackers. Give him the attackers. We've dealt with the defense. We've invested in midfield. We've done the goalkeeper. Get him his attackers and see what we can do. Then you can judge him. That's my opinion. But yeah, 100% stays for me. And yeah, that's that. That's another season gone. Unfortunately, we didn't win anything. So now we've got to look forward to the summer, and we need to make some big moves. I'm going to be recording a lot of content weekly about the transfers, what's happening, all the rumors, who's going in, who's going out. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned. Thanks for your support the whole season, people. I really appreciate it. And yeah, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for my upcoming content. But yeah, take care.